My most favorite memories was being with my family. In Iraq, it's so hot, we have no air conditioning. We all slept on the roofs as big families. And there was like the palm trees and like, being with your cousins, trying not to sleep at night.
Gordon, very briefly, Sama, just tell us about this. Like, I think this is one of your later projects. Like, I think it's just before COVID, correct?
Yeah, this was made at Art Pace, which is an extraordinary residency here in
San Antonio.
Texas, in San Antonio. Yeah. I had a gallery show too that was in one of my in my studio that converts into a gallery, but I also asked if I could have the roof because I love the idea of a rooftop. Being Iraqi, it's like my last memories of before the war, the Iraq-Iran war. My most favorite memories was being with my family. In Iraq, it's so hot, we have no air conditioning. We all slept on the roofs as big families. And there was like the palm trees and like, being with your cousins, trying not to sleep at night, counting the shooting stars. And it's one of those like romantic images before war. And rooftop was a very interesting liminal space of like a threshold space of public and also private. It's a home, but everybody could see it. So looking at this rooftop that I saw downtown San Antonio that you could see from anywhere, but you can only access very privately through an elevator, I kind of thought about this neon thing, like neon being like signage, like the language of public space, right? Like where you have neons telling you to come in here or this is a store. And at that time I was really reflecting on the disappearance of women from public life in Iraq, right? The generation that my mom was a part of protest, part of government, part of teaching, very normal experience, but how that's really regressed. It didn't feel appropriate to use the female body, which often I use my body as a site or like a protagonist. It didn't feel appropriate, like, because this really is the disappearance of women. And so I needed some mechanism to talk about the memory of it or the signage of it, but actually not being it. And I used the outline figure of a very famous public sculpture in Iraq. It's a water fountain in a traffic circle in Baghdad also. But everything's displaced. The water is now in a separate piece coming out, and all of the vessels that are there have words carved into it that comes from I extracted from assassination lists when after the United States invaded Iraq, there was this massive assassination of Iraqis, both men and women, who were professors, deans, really the intelligence class. And as an academic, that really kind of resonated that this assassination of cultural memory and of Iraq's identity was happening. If you kill the teachers, you kill a future, right? You get rid of the ability to teach and understand and know yourself.